AJ has a couple muscle, deep tissue soreness. Same thing with Maven and some other guys. But I thought they came out today, and I thought they really competed, stayed focused. The communication was probably as good as it's been since we've been in camp.
What is the real strength of this linebacking unit? Is it speed? Is it agility?
No, it's just maturity. Even though Maven, this is his first year starting, he was in the room with an old guy like Sapp last year and AJ. And I think AJ really came along right in October where it just finally, the lights came on for him. So the strength of the room is AJ, and then a guy like Maven, who's an ex-DB that can play in space, guy he can blitz, he can cover. There's a lot of good things he can do. So, the thing we got to get developed is who's going to be behind those guys. Who's going to be the backup if AJ get a muscle pull or if something happened to a Maven. So is it going to be a Bates or an Elliott or will it be a Jakob? Those are the questions we got to ask: is who's going to be in the 2 deep in the next 10 days.
How much of their assignments, responsibilities change when you go from the 4-2-5 or the 4-3 for your linebacker?
No, you're only playing with 2 linebackers out there at that time, and our offense is more, what we see, in those 4-2-5 situations. So they got a lot of reps at that. When they put in a bigger personnel, you'll see a guy like Majid come in the game and all weather. So we got a lot of reps of seeing what we're going to see in the next 10 days against Utah. A lot of things they do on offense is very similar to what we do on offense.
What about Bates? How is he picking up pass coverage? I know he's pretty fast.
Yeah. He'll tell you. He's like, first couple of weeks he was swimming, and every day he comes and he had a million questions to ask. He comes in the afternoon and asks questions. He's been great. I mean, the fact that, his football has been in his family, he understands concepts and situational football, and that's what we preach a lot. So as long as he keeps coming in, and Maven tells him all the time, just keep working at it, all of a sudden it'll just make sense to you. And so he understands it, and it's just sometimes he get out there, and just like any freshman does, they'll blow a coverage, but he'll know as soon as he does it what mistake he just made.
Jansick said you probably could play 11 to 14 freshmen on defense.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on a team that played that many freshmen on one side of the ball?
Yeah, I was at North Carolina when we had Bruce Carter and Marvin Austin. We had just a boatload of guys on defense, and I tell you, and 3 years later, I mean, it just changes the dynamics of your football team, because, you take it from, the first year you have some growing pains, but in that second and third year, those guys got a lot of great football ahead of them. So, the great thing I like about these guys, they got high character, and I tell you, they love the game and their approach to the game. They come in, they watch tape, they ask questions, and they actually love football. So it's a little bit different in North Carolina because, we had some guys that, they loved football, they liked everything about the university as well, but these kids, I'm telling you, with the Bates and the TKs of the world, man, they're fun to watch, and they're, you come in there every day and they ask a million questions.
Tommy, is there a way to describe maybe how much more athletic or versatile you guys are as a linebacker group this year?
I just think overall, I think athletically, especially on D-line and in secondary, I think it shows there more than anything else. We're faster at defensive end. We're faster at the corner position. You got guys at safety position that can now make plays in space. And then AJ is, him understanding the defense and being the general out there. It's a smooth transition. And as long as he's got everybody calm and communicating, it makes it easy for him. So, it's always looks like you're a lot faster when you know where you're going. And our saying is, and you'll hear the kids say it over and over, the teams that makes the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of been our theme, know your job, you defeat your one-on-ones on every play, and don't blow your assignment. And we think we'll be pretty good on defense.
Have you consistently seen the mistakes lessen over the course of camp?
Yeah, especially with the young guys. The older guys, they can communicate it and they'll know right when they make the mistake. The young guys, sometimes they make them have no clue why they made them, and some things don't make sense to them. But the great thing about it is they keep coming in, they keep asking questions, and they're in a room that's player friendly. The older guys are constantly on the sideline communicating to them and telling them exactly what they need to be or be doing on each since they're going to play.
With practice today, obviously some guys in blue for scout team. Is this kind of the start of the guys who are going to play getting more reps and that kind of thing?
Yes and no. A lot of times, you get some guys that's swinging both ways. Some of those guys are playing on the scout team, but they're coming back up in certain situations for us. So it hasn't been defined yet, So we're still looking, I know at linebacker, we're still looking, so we're going to be in the 2 deep. I'm sure the same way in the secondary and then at defensive line. But again, we're looking for who's going to be the backups, and then try not to waste guys, red shirt years on playing 2 or 3 plays on special teams. But what we're doing, Butch has a good philosophy. Whoever doesn't play this year, this red shirt is not a bad thing.
Does it motivate a player when you put him in a blue uniform, and even if it's just for the purpose of practice, but to be on that scout team, can that?
You get all the reps. I mean, it's not a bad thing at all. I mean, here's a chance for you to get better as a player, and you get to work your craft every day, every single play. The defense today they run at a Utah State or at Oklahoma or at Alabama, not very different from what you're running now. So, the chance when you get out there and you become that scout team guy, it's a chance for you to go out there and improve your craft every day and get the most amount of reps.
How much have you had to push Chris Weatherd because he just got on campus earlier this month and needing him early? He's
behind. He's behind a lot, but he's got a natural gift at rushing the passer. He's really good at that. So, we're playing him some base defense, playing him a little bit of nickel and in other situations. But he is, he comes in, he asks a lot of questions. But right now he's behind as far as the other guys with the communication and things. But we got a plan to speed him up. He comes in the morning, come in the afternoon, and we're trying to speed him up to where these guys who've been here this summertime, they got a huge head start on him. But the kid has a lot of pride. He's a really smart kid, and he's doing exactly what we asked him to do.
How critical is it that he's effective as a pass rusher with what you guys want to do?
Very. I mean, because we need him as a pass rusher. That was one of the things that we missed out on last year. We couldn't get off the field on third down in some situations. And so, with guys like Kurt, guys like, Barnett and Vereen, those guys got special traits at rushing the passer. And so what we want to do is make sure that we get another guy that can rush the passer in Weather.
Does the development of that 2 deep, how much does that affect how you use Kurt at linebacker or at end?
Well, Kurt, right now he's a defensive end. And so in certain situations, if we go out there today and play it against us, he'd be a defensive end, and then if you play against an Alabama, you probably try to play him as some linebacker as well.
Where do you see Elliott during this preseason in terms of maybe him being able to contribute right away on defensive special teams?
I'm sorry?
Elliott, Barry.
Yeah, he can run. The kid can actually fly. And he's coming from a football family. His brother and his dad, and they come from a household very similar to the Bates. But I'll tell you, he's got a good strike. When he knows where he's going, he runs at 110%. We just got to keep him going. The thing about young guys, they make mistakes and they get down on themselves. But with the system that we got, with Butch put in place, we make it player friendly where when they get time, come around, talk some football with us, even if it's 15, 20 minutes, head on back to class. And Elliott, he already asked, hey, coach, you gonna be in your office for another 15, 20 minutes tonight? Can I get? He asks it all the time, so he'll do that. And the more he understands the game, the faster Elliott will play.